Hey, folks, this is Wayne S. Pierce for the American Liberty Radio Network. Little housekeeping going on. Just wanted to share an additional supplement to the live show. Little housekeeping going on around here, and you can be a part of that if you would like. Yeah, we're looking to upgrade some equipment. We're looking to remodel the studio just a tad, and you can be a part of that. You can go to AmericanLibertyRadio.com. You can go to the sponsors page. You can advertise on the network as well if you'd like. But to help us out, remodel and upgrade some equipment around here, become a patron. Drop $1 in the kitty, or however much you would like, and help us out around here. So right after this, I'll come back. We'll get into some supplementary news. This is not going to be all that long, probably, I don't know, half hour maybe. I don't know. So let's get into some news right after this. Smashing through the lies of the mainstream media, tearing down the walls of misinformation.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order.
Shattering the foundations of the new world order.
To bring China into the creation of a new world order.
The truth, the facts, no bullshit.
In this new world, such dangerous currents have swept along faster than our efforts to contain them. And that is why we cannot afford to be divided.
The American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.com.
In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic processes.
For more information, go to AmericanLibertyRadio.com or email them at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. Hey, welcome back, folks. This is American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.com is the website. Please go there and spread the news of the website. And also go to Spreaker.com and look under American Liberty Radio. Yes, that's where you can find me, right there on Spreaker.com. Giving you a little supplement to the live show from earlier. So I want to thank everyone for listening. Questions arise as to what we the people are supposed to do. I mean, seriously, questions really do arise in some way, shape, or form, and in some fashion. What do we the people do to protect our nation? Well, we don't vote these morons into office. The vast majority of the Republicans who are in the Trump administration are rhinos, Republicans in name only. The Democrats are using them as fodder to perpetuate their disagreement, I'll use that word, towards what President Trump is doing. And behind the scenes, you have President Barack Obama enjoying, or former President Barack Obama enjoying his vacations paid for by the taxpayers. You're looking at people like Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders to come and save all of the Democratic Socialists from the, patriotism that is spreading across the United States. And the question is, what do people do? What are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? Yeah, and it's interesting when that question arises, and I think about that for a minute, and I ask myself, what am I to do? What am I to do? Am I able to get out and protest? Yeah, but what are protests? Am I able to gather people together in a rally and speak on things of what's happening? Yes, I'm fully capable of doing that as well. Am I capable of picking up a weapon and going out and defending this nation? Of course I am. And there's plenty of other things that I can do. But I believe that you can do it too. I believe that there are certain things in this country that people can do if they wanted to. And I really think that people don't want to do anything to protect themselves or their country or their neighborhoods or anything. Okay? Because I believe that as far as I'm concerned, people seem to be cowardly, seem to be more apt to not defend themselves because of, they don't want to be inconvenienced. But what's more is that they will see things in their way and they won't push it out of their way. Although I'm going to say this, some people do this. The rest of them are patriots and they'll push beyond any boundaries that they have that's been set up in front of them to achieve what they want. But there's a small percentage of people who are just going to sit behind the scenes, behind a wall, stay safe, run away, go hide, and hope that everybody else protects them. Well, you're on your own. I didn't want to mention this on the live broadcast because I'm sick and tired of people who do this. I'm sick and tired of these Hollywood elites that think they're above everybody else. I'm sick and tired of the bull crap that they pull and then they turn around and apologize for it. No, they're full of bull crap. All of them in this regard. In the positions that they have, they think that they can use their forum to put forth their socialist megalomaniac attitude towards people and instill this degree of radicalism upon the American people. They're dumber than a box of rocks because we, the people, see through their bullcrap. There's a report on Breitbart. Secret Service opens investigation into Kathy Griffin beheading photo. Yeah. As I said on the live show in the beginning of the live show just a little bit ago, I believe, I can bet you a penny that her agents and her people around her went, no, don't do this. And she's, giving them the big middle finger. And then after she posted this photo, I'm sure the Secret Service called the agents and all of that and went, you want to take that down? So she apologized because she knew her ass was grass if she didn't. Secret Service opens investigation into Kathy Griffin beheading. Kathy Griffin's photo depicting her holding up a fake bloody decapitated head meant to resemble President Donald Trump is now the subject of United States Secret Service investigation, according to a report. Law enforcement sources told TMZ that the Secret Service has launched an investigation into, quote, the circumstances surrounding the photo shoot, unquote. On Tuesday, the federal agency took to Twitter and seemingly acknowledged Griffin's photo, which has been messaged directly to the Secret Service by numerous social media users. On it, at Secret Service, has a robust Protective Intelligence Division that monitors open source reporting and social media to evaluate threats, unquote. The agency tweeted Tuesday morning. Quote, threats made against Secret Service protectees receive the highest priority of all of our investigations. Hashtag protection never rests, unquote. The Secret Service tweeted an hour later. By Tuesday evening, the Secret Service had issued a longer statement which did not mention Griffin or her horrific photo. Quote, the United States Secret Service has a critical mission. It is always unfortunate when people make statements that could be perceived as threats, unquote. The statement read, according to ABC News, quote, we don't have the luxury of knowing a person's intent. Each alleged or perceived threat has to be investigated thoroughly, which taxes Secret Service manpower and resources that could be utilized elsewhere, unquote. Backlash toward Griffin came swiftly, with many social media users calling for a boycott of Griffin's cross-country comedy tour. The fallout prompted CNN, the network where Griffin has co-hosted the live New Year's Eve broadcast since 2007, to begin reconsidering the comedian's role at the network. CNN anchor Anderson Cooper also distanced himself from Griffin, tweeting Tuesday, quote, for the record, I am appalled by the photo shoot Kathy Griffin took part in. It is clearly disgusting and completely inappropriate, unquote. President Trump tweeted Wednesday morning that Griffin, quote, should be ashamed of herself, unquote. That's his big wagging his finger in her face. And that her photo had been difficult for his children, including his 11-year-old son, Barron. Griffin had initially defended the photo, writing on Twitter that she does, quote, not condone any violence, unquote, but, quote, merely mocking the mocker-in-chief, unquote, but the statement did little to quell the near-universal criticism, which prompted Griffin to issue a video apology, which was too little too late. I believe that the promoters of her cross-country comedy tour should cancel every single date that she has to show that they're not going to put up with her crap anymore. This is going on American Liberty Radio podcast page for all of you to take a gander at. Pardon the graphics. Actually, I can get rid of the graphic. There we go. Here's what's wrong with society, folks. Here's what's wrong with society. We have miscommunication, which leads to misidentification, which leads to misunderstanding. We have misinformation, propaganda, misinterpretation, misunderstanding, which leads to misdirection. This is what is happening to the United States of America. Due to the mainstream propaganda media, now they're getting wise to the fact that they are failing miserably. MSNBC, CBS, CNN, Fox, everybody. They're all failing miserably. And they now get the hint that they're wrong, or they're pulling back from all of their, activities, bashing the president, bashing the U.S., bashing people. And literally, if we, the people, were to just push even further, these networks would go out of business. And there would be new networks from the independent alternative media coming up, telling the truth, giving the facts. Here's what's going on. But see, here's, and this is what's wrong with America. We'll have too many people contending or contesting that, because they say, well, everybody else has a right to speak their mind, and the positive stuff is not the only thing that's protected under the First Amendment. It's the negative stuff as well. We'll have that, and that's the problem with America, is that you have too many people on the negative side of things, or perpetuating and supporting negative narratives, that begin to chip away at the foundation of peace, freedom, liberty, and security for the nation and begin to collapse certain areas of America. This is what's happening. Now, that's the problem with America, is that we have too many negative Nellies out there. We have too many negative voices that want to perpetuate their bull crap, that want to perpetuate lies and disinformation and all of this. Let me tell you something, folks. Mama didn't raise no fool, and Grandma taught me better. My mom said, if you want to talk about something, you better know what you're talking about. Well, what that meant was, and she taught me later on, was investigate and research. Guess what? Been doing that since Carter was president. And guess what? I'm not always right. I'm not always wrong. I may have overlooked a few things because I don't know everything. That's just the way it is. But I get to the truth and the facts by looking at one thing, and I don't share everything with you guys that I see because I have to, look at this and vet this information so that, number one, I know what I'm talking about. Number two, I've proved to myself that it is correct and accurate and factual. And then I tell you guys about it. But I also encourage you to go out and look this stuff up yourself. So there you go. There you go. Let me move on, folks. Hey, I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Nick Tucker over at Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker because of the fact that he's been off air for a little while. Life, family. He wants to spend more time with his family, but he's chomping at the bit to get back on air, folks. He's chomping at the bit. Okay. So support him, support his network at distortedreality.podbean.com. And you can do that. I think you can do that still. Let me go there. Distortedreality.podbean.com. There it is. Yeah, I think, let me look at his site here. I think you can share it. You can follow him. He's got, some episodes on there, some past episodes. So, him and I did a 2-part series called Are We Living in a Simulation? Part 1 and 2. So I will share those now because those were important shows that we did. And it literally, those are on my personal page on Facebook, but I will share them on the American Liberty Radio podcast page. These shows were important because of the fact that we identify and discuss certain issues pertaining to us living in a matrix. So please check those out. Let me go to my personal page and share those on American Liberty Radio podcast. And my question to you is, before I go on to this next article, my question to you is, have you ever noticed anything that is just out of the ordinary? Have you seen things that you would consider strange and unusual? Because there's a lot of strange and unusual stuff going on. Let me go into this direction, folks. Let me change gears and go here. Judges say parents and school officials must obey, quote, transgender, unquote, teenager. Neil Monroe, 30th of May, 2017, Breitbart.com. Thank you, Neil. The federal Constitution requires that school officials submit to the demands of a teenage girl who wants to change her sex to become a boy, says a 3-judge panel of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 7th District. The judges say that Kenosha Unified School District violated federal law and the Constitution because the teenager's, quote, gender identity, unquote, as a, quote, unquote, transgender boy is more important than the popular laws, civic customs, and scientific consensus, which recognize that girls and boys, men and women, are biologically and socially different, even as they are also complementary and legally equal. Folks, two genders, that's all there is, male and female. Go bite me in the ass if you think it's any different than that. Continuing, the court's ruling in Whitaker versus Kenosha likely will be sent to the U.S. Supreme Court, which will likely decide in 2018 whether the new idea of quote-unquote gender identity will replace society's distinction between boys and girls and between men and women. There's two genders, folks. Shut the hell up. Two genders. I'm not going to put up with this bull crap ever again. Male, female, period, end of sentence, done, don't like it, grab your crap, leave the country, go be a hermit somewhere. I don't care. There are two genders, male and female. Period. I'm done with bull crap. Done with ignorant people. Go about your business. Nothing to see here. Move along. Now, I want to make this quite clear. Quite clear. Okay? Whether you like it or not, whether you agree or disagree with what I say, about 95% of the time, and I'm being very conservative on that number, I'm right. Okay? Now, the other 5%, well, more realistically, 5 to 10%. I've got to dig and dig and dig and dig to get to the truth, get to the facts, who said what, the credibility of the author, blah, blah, blah. I got to do all that, okay? And once I find those tidbits of information that I need, I put all those together. I look at other avenues, other resources, and I make sure that what I'm saying is correct. Okay? Just want to put that out there. Breaking news, massive Kabul truck bomb kills 80, wounds hundreds. Kabul, this is 31st of May, 2017 from AFP, American Free Press. I believe that's what that is. At least 80 people were killed and hundreds wounded Wednesday when a massive truck bomb ripped through Kabul's diplomatic quarter, bringing carnage to the streets of Afghan capital and blowing out windows several miles away. Bodies littered the scene, and a huge cloud of smoke rose from the highly fortified area which houses foreign embassies after the rush hour traffic tore a massive crater into the ground just days into the Muslim holy fasting month of Ramadan. Well, there you go. No group has so far claimed the powerful blast, which a Western diplomatic source said was caused by 1,500 kilograms of explosives packed inside a water tanker. Okay? I don't know. Yeah, it's not, for some reason it ain't working, but I will put this on American Liberty Radio podcast. Whoops. I accidentally shut the tab down for Breitbart. Oh my God. There we go. Yeah, it's one of those days, folks. Let's go to RT.com, shall we? As soon as my browser decides that, there we go. Decides to work. Turkey blast U.S. for quote-unquote extremely dangerous arming of Kurds in Syria. Who's funding Britain's terrorist? Quote-unquote sensitive. Home Office report may never be published. Secretive Bilderberg Group to talk Russia, Trump, and war on information. I'm just, people are like, oh, there's no such thing as a Bilderberg Group, blah, 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 blah. Formed in 1954 at the Hotel Bilderberg in Sweden. Hello. Go check your history. I'm right. Just go check it out, folks. This is from, excuse me. Let me find the author's name so I can give credit where credit is due, but this is at RT.com. So, RT.com, America section, Secretive Bilderberg Group to talk Russia, Trump, and war on information, published the 31st of May, 2017. Many of the world's most powerful people are gathering for an annual meeting of the mysterious Bilderberg Group this week. Russia, the Trump administration, and the war on information are among key topics up for discussion. This year's gathering takes place in Chantilly, Virginia. I said Dresden, Germany. Sorry. It's taking place in Chantilly, Virginia, less than 30 miles from the White House, and goings-on in the Oval Office are the top of the agenda of the 131 people who've confirmed they're attending. Many top White House figures will be at the four-day event, including the Secretary of Commerce Wilbur Ross, National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster, and Assistant to the President Christopher Liddell. Other topics up for discussion include, quote, Russia in the international order, unquote, China, quote, the Transatlantic Defense Alliance, bullets, bites, and bucks, unquote, the war on information, direction of the EU, and why is populism, there we go, growing. This year's event marks the 65th meeting of the infamously, if I can say that word, secretive group, which has met every year since 1954. Dennis Healy, Joseph Rettinger. Why does that name sound familiar? Joseph Rettinger. David Rockefeller and Prince Bernhard of the Netherlands were the group's founders. The group says the conference is, quote, designed to foster dialogue between Europe and North America, unquote. Each year it's attended by people from the fields of politics, industry, finance, media, and academia. About 2/3 of the participants come from Europe and the rest from North America. So everybody 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago was saying there's no such thing as a Bilderberg Group. Now the mainstream media is coming out saying there is. So, again, on my live show just a bit ago, I said there are no longer any conspiracy theories. It's all fact. Let me tell you something, people. Bingo! I'm right. There are no longer any conspiracy theories whatsoever. Hey, I'm going to go longer than a half hour. So, I'll be back. Don't go away. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy, and I'll be back right after this. Don't even move, because I know who you are. No, just kidding. I'll be back in 3.5 minutes. This is American Liberty Radio Network, AmericanLibertyRadio.com. Broadcasting from FEMA Region 8, sharing the truth one fact at a time, without all the BS. This is the American Liberty Radio Network.
The people of the world are now seeing what the globalists have always intended. They are engaged in a campaign to rid the world of 90% of humanity. They are well on their way of achieving this. But, with the corrupt mainstream media aligning themselves with such diabolical philosophies, the globalists are now being exposed and the people are now seeing them for who they truly are. Thanks for the most part to the independent media revealing the connection of the mainstream media to globalists like George Soros and others who invest and spread disinformation.
Don't say you haven't been warned. Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker. DistortedReality.podbean.com and Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on American Liberty Radio Network. Sharing the truth one fact at a time without all the BS. American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.com.
There's a show that's not afraid to ask questions no one else will ask. Not afraid to say
what no one else will say.
Friday nights at 7 p.m. Listen to Restricted Airspace with Tina Marie, where no topic is off limits. Conspiracy theories, paranormal activities, hoaxes, the unexplained. It's what we talk about. Question everything. Trust no one. Restricted Airspace with Tina Marie. Friday at 7 p.m. on the KCOR Digital Radio Network out of Las Vegas, Nevada.
Hey folks, how you doing? This is American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.com is the website for all the information you want. Yes, I'm on Facebook right now, Facebook Live, so if you're watching me, hi, how are you? I'm recording this podcast just for you. It's a supplement to the live broadcast I had earlier, so if you want to check that out, please do. I need your assistance for something, if you're out there. I need a webmaster. I need somebody to help, put together stuff and lay out a framework of what I need. And I'm going to ask all kinds of people, of course. But that's what I need. So, it's a volunteer job. So, hang out. Anywho, what goes on? What is going on? I just read an article from RT.com. So let's go back to RT.com. Bilderberg Group is meeting at Chantilly, Virginia, just like they did in 2008. Yeah, it's no longer a conspiracy theory, people. Conspiracy fact. It's a fact. It's people running things. Hey, people in the live broadcast over on Facebook. Hi, Eric. Hi, John. How you guys doing? Anthony, how you doing, buddy? Hey there, Mia. How you doing? Sorry. When your nose itches, you just you want to scratch it. How you guys doing, man? How you guys doing? I want to know how you guys are doing. You guys rock, man. You guys, awesome. Let's go to RT.com. Let me go here. As of yesterday, RT was reporting U.S. test ICBM interceptor missile amid rising tensions with North Korea. Yeah, that's RT.com. I'll put that on American Liberty Radio podcast for you. Let me give you a little side note. Excuse me. Let me give you a little side note here. Here in Billings, Montana, which I get anywhere between 70 to 90% of my listeners come from Billings, Montana, there's a lot of things going on here in the city. And frankly, I've got a background for many years in theater. And theater is like if you want to just stretch your wings and go do stuff. And, it's therapy for me to be in theater. And I love writing. I love producing. I love being in shows. And I haven't been in a show yet. I had some health issues and wasn't in a show once. So, anywho, here's something that I want you to remember in Billings, Montana. There's a lot of great people here, a lot of great organizations, but theater is a key to the community, as is independent media such as I am in, me, independent media. I've got two things going on. First of all, I want to promote Nova Center for the Performing Arts right now because they are so welcoming and they rock, and the management there is fantastic. They got wonderful shows coming up. School of Rock is coming up at Nova Center for the Performing Arts. It's the youth program coming up, so check out novabillings.org for more information on that. And tell them I sent you. And I volunteer over there when I can. I do sound and lights and all that for them as well. So other things I do here in town is, as you can tell behind me right here, it's my studio. New West Radio Productions is a company that I formed to bring back radio of yesterday, as the tagline is yesterday's radio today, which is radio plays, radio interviews with actors and actresses and stuff like that. And I've written and recorded a radio play, which I will soon premiere. So keep your eyes out for that one. If anyone is interested in being a part of that, being a part of, radio plays and acting, and all it is, you fellow actors out there, all that is readers theater. So think about that one. You're standing in front of a mic reading a script. It's really easy. Okay. So anyway, that's what I do around here. And I'm the head window washer around the network as well. So, keep that in mind. If you're able to contribute your voices to radio plays or have an interest in that, I have roles to fill in radio plays that I've written. So contact me. Yeah, contact me. You can message me on Facebook. You can, go to New West Radio Productions.weebly.com for more information. That's the website to go to. New West Radio Productions. I think it's New West Productions. Sorry. Let me give you the right one. Don't go away. Just sit right there. I'm going to give you the right address. New West. Oh, yeah. You can go here as well. newwestradiothéâtre.weebly.com. newwestradiothéâtre.weebly.com. Go check that out as well. I have, right now I have 21st Precinct, recorded 28th of July, 1953. So I have old radio shows up there as well. newwestradiothéâtre.weebly.com. Contact me there. Anywho, folks, that's what's going on. Got a lot going on. So anywho, I want to get on to some other things as well. And I know the world is not the most happiest place right now. Okay. And I know that certain people will pretty much ignore a lot of this stuff going on. They'll just continue to go do what they're doing, But I really suggest that you take a look at what's going on, because it does affect your life. It does affect you, your neighborhood, your family, your coworkers, indirectly, if not directly. And because this past weekend was Memorial Day weekend, I want to say that if your family or your friends are overseas or in the military, thank you for not only supporting them, but thank them for me for what they do. I was in the military. I'm former military myself. So thank you. Appreciate that very, very much. Defense Minister seeks tougher control over servicemen's internet activity. This is in Russia, folks. Russia. The Russian Defense Ministry has prepared a bill ordering all military personnel to abstain from posting any information on the internet, or at least requiring them to inform their superiors about all such activity. It's a form of internet version of see something, say something. According to the brief summary of the draft published on the government web portal, it was developed in compliance with the principles of Russian state service. If passed, the bill would apply to military units, military command bodies, military police, and military recruitment stations. That's going up on American Liberty Radio podcast for you all. Lots of things going on in the world today, and I really suggest, and you can do whatever you want, but I suggest you take a look at this stuff. And if you're young, and if your mind is elsewhere, I would suggest taking 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, thinking and researching and looking at the things that are going on in the world today. And I'm talking, anybody from 17 to about 25. Think about what's going on, because it does affect you. It does affect you. What goes on in that 10 square mile piece of land we call Washington, D.C. affects you. So I'd really start paying attention. I was researching, geopolitics when President Carter was in office in 1976 to 1980. I was investigating and researching all of that then, and I haven't stopped. So, yeah, I was a very young man at that time. So, anywho, let's go here. I want to go here. While the website is coming up, I want to let you all know that there's certain things that people don't feel confident about, and the economy is one of them. Just look at your paycheck, okay? That's all you got to do. Just look at your paycheck. You don't feel confident that your dollar can buy what you want, and you got to work more, or you work an additional job, or any of that. And you understand how far your money goes, okay? You get this. Even you young folks out there, you young whippersnappers, you know how far your money goes. You understand. You got this. You're smart, okay? You know this. But your confidence level, as you look at your money and you say, well, how am I going to pay rent? How am I going to pay my car insurance? How am I going to do that? Everybody thinks that, of course. How are you going to pay your mortgage? What are you doing? The confidence level of your personal economy, your personal budgets is really low. Why? Because you don't think you make enough. You don't. That's the reality. You don't. How do you remedy that? I don't have all the answers. So honestly, as I've said before, if I don't know something, I'll tell you I don't know. In that regard, I don't know. But it's taking more work, more of your time away from your family to create an income to sustain yourself. Have you thought about limiting some of the things you do? It's just an option. Okay, it's just an option. So think about that one too. Let's go here. I want to, a big sigh. I know, it's a big sigh. I don't care what you think about the president. I really, really don't. Because he's the president. Regardless of whether or not you like him, regardless of whether or not you voted for him, it doesn't really matter. He's the president now. Okay? He's the president. All right? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter one bit. But what is he going to do for you? And you keep asking that. What is he going to do for you? What is it? Well, it's not about that. It's about protecting the United States of America from enemies, foreign and domestic, period. You citizens, including me, are on the front lines of that protection of the United States of America. The president can only do so much. His hands are tied by Congress right now. He'd like to just wipe every piece of garbage out of that swamp we call Washington, D.C. and do the right thing by making America great again, to borrow his phrase. So those who don't like Trump, those who never voted for him, those who are pissed off at what he's doing, need to really think about your position in the United States of America as a citizen and ask yourself, what can I do to support the peace, freedom, liberty, and security of this nation? That's it. That's common sense, folks. It's really simple. It's common sense. Yale professor, Trump's quote-unquote mental impairment, a state of emergency. I put the air quotes up there because it's quoted. A Yale University professor of psychiatry has continued to push the ethical boundaries of her field by once again saying President Trump's mental impairment makes him unfit for office. This is from campusreform.org. 31st of May, 2017. Professor Bandy Lee, an instructor of Yale's Department of Psychiatry, sat down with Chauncey Devagato, discuss her controversial approach to the president, saying that the, quote, situation has come to such a critical level, unquote, that she had no choice but to speak out. This is going on American Liberty Radio podcast for you all to view. I'm going to say this one more time, and I'm going to make this very, very clear. It does not matter whether or not you like the president. It does not matter whether or not you voted for him. It matters that we have peace, freedom, security, and liberty in this nation. That's what matters. If you wanted Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton to give you all the free stuff that you think you deserve, let me give you a reality check. Newsflash, nothing's free. That's just the way it is. Well, I'm not paying for it. Well, no, but somebody else is. Like me. Like anybody working a day job. If you got a check and you see your taxes taken out of that, guess what? That's paying for someone else to get something they don't have to pay for. Nothing is free. I myself personally think that student loans are a fraud to perpetually put you in debt so that you would have to pay that, and all this, that, and the other thing. And I know some people have paid off their school loans. I understand that. Don't get me wrong. I've looked into the whole school loan thing, the whole scam of what school loans are. And it's a fraud. It's a complete fraud. And why I say that? Because it perpetually puts you in debt. Why do you want that? When my mom went to college, she paid for it with a part-time job. Kind of a neat concept, isn't it? So what can I say? So anywho, that article about the Yale professor is up on American Liberty Radio podcast. Tucker Carlson is in the news again. Fox News Insider, 31st May 2017. Tucker, the left's diversity agenda is totalitarian and it's everywhere. The Democrats' concern for equal rights has been replaced by that, quote-unquote, diversity agenda. He said the Democrats' concern for equal rights has been replaced by diversity agenda. Quote, it is totalitarian and it's everywhere. He pointed to cases on campuses like Evergreen State College in Washington where students demanded a day without white people. For you folks going to college, for you youngsters, I know, for you young adults, let's put it that way. I have a great deal of respect for you, but college campuses, and let me just point out to you what they are, from elementary school to junior high school to college, community college, to your universities. They are governmental indoctrination institutes, period, end of sentence. You want to be politically radicalized? Yeah, just continue going to these governmental indoctrination institutes. You will be politically radicalized and indoctrinated with leftist bullcrap. What can I say? I make no apologies for what I say because, you know what? I don't have to. That's just the way it is. Let me go here. Let's go to, let's go to MSNBC.com because they're a leftist organization. Hello. The light just went down. There we are. Hi, how are you? Comey, James Comey, to testify in public next week. Well, hopefully something comes out of that. Let me go down here. Here's what the left is saying, and here's the mouthpiece of the left on MSNBC. One of many mouthpieces on MSNBC, aside from Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski, who I don't feel sorry for her that her father, Zbigniew Brzezinski, passed away. I don't feel sorry for her at all. Zbigniew Brzezinski, go look him up. Political terrorism is just one of the things that he did in his life and career. Civil rights protection wither under Trump and Sessions. Vanita Gupta, former head of the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice, talks with Joy Ann Reid, video was almost starting by itself, about the Trump administration's dismantling of important civil rights protections that are the responsibility of the Justice Department. Of all the things that kept Democratic. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, the video. I hate when videos start on their own. But that's one of them. Oh, I closed the tab out. I was going to share that, but I'm coming down to the end of the broadcast here, the end of the podcast. And I want to put it to you this way. I want to lay it out in this fashion. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. Diversity. What is the key element of diversity? The key element from my perspective is knowing yourself. That's 1. 2, knowing your environment. And 3, being able to adapt to your environment. To me, that's diversity. But to have a college or some other people say, well, we need to get rid of this, we want diversity only our way. We don't want it anybody else's way. Same thing in saying free speech. Did you know that there are free speech zones in your city and in your colleges? Screw that. It's called the First Amendment. The whole of the United States is a free speech zone. Not just one little 10 by 10 square piece of, grassy area in your college. Anybody that comes to you and says we need to change and to be more diverse is not seeing the whole picture. They're ignoring the very basic elements of what diversity truly is. And it begins within you. It begins with you. Now, you young adults out there from 17, 18 to 25, yeah. I can't tell you what to do. Don't want to. I can suggest, I can encourage, I can't tell you what to do. But I can tell you this much. It would benefit you greatly to sit down on your college campuses, if you're going to college, or even in where you work, or even on your days off, walk around the mall. Grab something to eat, sit in the middle of the mall and watch people. Just watch people. Just watch people. You want to talk about diversity? You're going to see a lot of it. And it's not going to be your way, even though your preconceived ideas are going to be, why'd that person do that? Why'd that couple fight? Why did that person say that? Why did that individual go that way instead of this? You're going to have thoughts all through your head, and I guarantee you those thoughts are going to be there in some form or fashion. But just watch people. The idea, the concept of diversity is not going to be your way. And you're going to have an awakening when you watch people. Mama didn't raise no fool and Grandma taught me better. And diversity is what my grandmother taught me. And diversity in the sense that, yes, I have the opportunity to do so many things because I'm capable of doing those things. I've learned about those things. I've, managed to make those things available to me. Because I have the ability to learn. I have the ability and the capability of managing to put those things in, compartmentalize them in my life and be able to do those things. To me, that's the basic essence of diversity. So for you out there who want Bernie Sanders, who want Hillary Clinton, who want to get rid of Trump and all that, yeah. How's that working out for you? Huh? How's that working out for you? So anyway, I'm going to get out of here in about 2 minutes. So, folks, I'm going to turn you off right now because you guys rock, and I got to get to end this show here in this podcast. So look for the podcast on American Liberty Radio Podcast on Facebook. So thank you all that joined me and said hi. Excuse me. And, yeah. Talk to you guys later. You guys rock. Go to AmericanLibertyRadio.com for more information. And if you have any questions, please ask me. Yes, no question is off limits. Ask me anything you want. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. It's pretty simple. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. There's more coming. Go to American Liberty Radio Podcast on Facebook, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have fun, and thank you. So that was the Facebook Live behind the scenes of the podcast. So, folks, I am going to go away now. In the process of doing what we do today, remember, you're the front line of freedom. This is American Liberty Radio Network. American Liberty Radio on Spreaker.com. AmericanLibertyRadio.com. Sharing the truth one fact at a time without all the BS.